Gamers, what's the strangest encounter you've had with players online? I was playing Company of Heroes 2, and this guy was thoroughly beating me. When I was on my last legs, he said, "Right. Come into my base and kill me. I won't fight back." Withdrew all his forces to one side and tried to let me. What was happening? Had to think for a few seconds. Well, you see, in Company of Heroes 2 you play against people of your skill level. This fool was so sad he always wanted to win. So he'd play until he knew he'd won the game, psychologically, then actually let the other player technically win, so he stayed in shitty craphole league and got to continually whoop people. What an asshat. So I thought screw that and told him he was going to have to finish me off because I wasn't going to kill him. Next thing, he starts base destroying his own base with friendly fire. So now I'm really mad and I start self-destroying my own base to teach him a lesson and make the game think he won. And it gets really fricked up when I start destroying just the units he has that are trying to destroy his base and him mine. So we're fighting two battles. One for the destruction of the other's army. And one for our army to try and quickly destroy our own bases, then shoot their own comrades. I even started making my men stand in between his tanks and his base as human shields, which stopped him shooting for a while because of the risk of accidentally hitting the enemy. But he has a frigging great army. So his base is getting hammered faster, and he's gonna get the loss he wants, which, in this strange encounter, now meant he's the winner, keeping up. He is sending surreal messages like, "You suck at this, I just destroyed all my bunkers, and most of my men are dead," which, well, was different from most things people typed to me on Company of Heroes 2. So, in last-minute desperation, I pulled the plug on my internet, knowing that my disconnect meant he would register a win and I'd get a lose. Which somehow, in my head, makes me the winner. Then I sat back, took a deep breath, and thought to myself, what the frick just happened? Edit. I have just overtaken, with this single reply, the amount of comment karma I got in the year 2015. I was playing a game of Mount and Blade. Napoleonic Wars. Bear in mind each game has 250 players. My team was defending a large house surrounded by walls. A unique thing about the game is that you can choose to play bagpipers and various other characters with musical instruments. So I was running around the house and I saw a piano, so I went over and started picking tunes to play on it. A few seconds later a squad of musicians come running down the stairs and just start playing with me. Eventually almost the entire team was down there dancing by toggling crouch. Out of nowhere a cannonball came flying through the wall and the piano and killed me. Then all of a sudden on chat someone typed, "They killed the piano man." And a few moments later someone else typed, "Forward for the piano man." And then charged out of the newly formed hole in the wall, and the entire team followed shouting the same into chat. It was hilarious and bewildering at the same time. I was playing one of the earlier Call of Duty games, and a little kid came on the mic. Sounded like he was maybe 7 or 8. I probably wasn't the only one who was getting ready to hear about he fricked somebody's mom. Anyway, the kid is super polite, says hello to everybody on the team, and asks if we mind working together so we don't ruin his KDR. He organized us pretty well. Made sure only a couple of us played sniper loadouts and had us organized by loadouts as we made our way around the map as a team using covering fire and a couple strategic flanks. I'm not sure what was more impressive, that the little kid organized it all and was super nice, or that everyone on the team listened to him and we all worked together. We cleaned house that match and I never saw him again. In the game Elite Dangerous, I was flying around in a more populated area when I got interdicted by a wing of orcas, very large fast ship, great for ramming other ships. One of the players rings my ship for voice comms and I accept, hoping to talk my way out of a hostile situation. Nope, he blasts circus music and they all start flying at me at insane speeds. I didn't get away, but I laughed in the end. Back in the day I was on a random Minecraft server and I'd left my base to go mining. When I got back I saw someone inside and asked in the chat why he was in there. He asked for my Skype name and then called me. What happened next was a hostage situation. He'd rigged my house with TNT and said if I didn't give him all my valuables, he'd blow the house up Server had locked chests, but not any anti-griefing systems. To prove he was serious, he took my dog to the window and killed him. A few of the mods from the server were online and nearby, so came over and asked if they wanted me to kick and ban him. I thought it was quite funny, so let it play out and tried to talk. That lasted a second before he blew the place up. Happy ending though, they banned him, then helped me build a new house. RIP Cecil though. Modern Warfare 2. I've posted about this before on a different thread. I forget the name of the map, but it was the big grass one with the radioactive perimeter and the cave bunker in the middle. I've been told it's wasteland. My friends and I would all equip riot shields and move around like Spartans in the phalanx formation. Without talking to the other team or communicating with them in any way, they also started moving in the phalanx formation, and eventually it evolved into a riot shield fight club inside the bunker. Two guys would go into the middle and start ramming each other with their shields, while the rest of us were standing around them in a circle, jumping. It was one of the funniest and strangest things I have ever seen. The fact that there is another group of friends out there as weird as mine, and we ran into them, was very surprising. I came up with the idea of having everyone on our team equip cold-blooded pro, don't show up on radar, and no name pops up when you're in the crosshairs, and a sniper class, so you have a ghillie suit, and then hide. Each MW2 map had a couple good hiding places, and we planned them out ahead of time. We were playing TDM on Rundown, and we all jumped into the bushes on the perimeter of the map and were laughing as people would run by us. The other team was running around the map confused because they could see that the other team was full but couldn't find anyone. With the match almost over, one player on the other team finds us and realizes what we were doing, so doesn't shoot us. He stayed by us and started jumping around, which drew the attention of someone else on his team who, with 10 seconds left, threw a grenade and killed all of us. When the match ended and chat opened up, there was hysterical laughter coming from both sides. I missed that game. Sad face. EVE is plenty weird, so mine is sort of mundane, but whatever. As a brief primer on EVE, in normal space, there is this thing called local, which is the chat window for the system. It lists all players currently in the system, so you always know if there's someone there. Then there's wormhole space. There is no local, you only appear there once you enter a message into the chat window. You could be surrounded by 20 players ready to murder you, and you wouldn't know till you went pop. There is a thing called scan though that reveals most ships in the local area around you, which is to say around 14.3 AU. Part of the culture of wormhole space, then, is that you don't talk in local. Ever. Not for any reason. This led to an odd situation once upon a time when I was running around in wormhole space. I had named my ship Please Don't Shoot or something similar. I hit my scan and discovered a ship called Oh Yes I Will. In jest, I renamed my ship to Please No. On my next scan hit, the ship had changed to Coming to Kill You. I then proceeded to have a conversation for a few minutes, purely by constantly changing the name of my ship and never once using the chat function provided in-game. Like, comment, and share. Reddit Story Topper. Subscribe now.